Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Ashton from Lo-Fi Book Club, almost forgot the name then. And today we're going to be looking at some recent drama from the BookTok community, and it involves a BookToker called A Court of Spicy Books, the ink pages, and accusations of stolen artwork for a special edition book release. At A Court of Spicy Books is a popular BookToker. Recently, they posted a video calling out the ink pages for using artwork in their special edition of Savage Lands by Stacey Marie Brown that looked suspiciously similar to artwork created by a Czech artist, Adela Stopka. So today we're going to take a look at the videos that A Court of Spicy Books posted and some screenshots from the ink pages, but let's start with the first video that she made on the situation.
I just got blocked by an indie book box and I put it on my Instagram and I've had like 40 messages. So here's what's going on. I was just scrolling through Instagram and I saw this. This is a story that they put up. It's the ink pages. If you've ever heard of them, they're an indie special edition company. And like, I wasn't going to make this video. I wasn't going to comment publicly on this. And then they blocked me. They've recently announced a special edition set. And essentially a lot of people have said that the artwork that is included on the hardback of the book, which I think is the main cover, I don't think they have dust jackets on, is very, very similar to a piece of art created by a Czech artist. Now, I didn't know any of this until tonight. And I saw this story post from them. It says, "Dear friends, in concern with these absolutely unreasonable comments of stealing someone's art, we've apologised already. This is the artist. Her work was a real inspiration for us." It then reads, "We didn't steal anything, as some people here are trying to blame us." The whole, I'm just going to warn you now, this whole thing is so unprofessional. And actually at no point have I ever accused them of stealing any art. I just messaged them and I said that I felt uncomfortable working with them moving forward because of the unprofessionalism of these posts and some comments and some messages that I'd seen, so that I'd be taking down the posts that I had done with them, and I was stepping back from promoting anything in the future. That's what made them block me. Let's look at the rest of this. We saw her beautiful cover and was impressed and inspired with the colours. But what about the concept? We don't agree here. I think they mean the concept of stealing. They then say, if you have read the book, if you had read it, then you would know. I think when it says the main characters is Budapest, they actually mean like Budapest is a setting for this and that the Budapest Parliament building is in the book. They then go on to say, of course we will have a similar building. It's a real building. Babes, I don't think anyone is questioning how realistic your drawing of the Budapest Parliament building is.
I feel like when you're a company, you have to be definitely more professional. I understand that perhaps you don't agree with people who are making these accusations, but I think you would need to maybe just understand or take a look at why they're saying this, take a look at all the facts first before getting super, what's the word, but basically like super like reactive almost. So I feel like this all could have been said in a much better manner. The kind of caps is quite funny, trying to drive home the point, but let's see what else they have to say.
Then they've gone on to say the bars. Honestly, there's some bars, like prison bars on the cover, which is relevant to the story. We read the book. Bars are also an important part of the book. So it's so obvious that they're going to be similar. In no way, shape or form am I blaming the artist here. I honestly have no idea what's happened. I don't know what brief they were given. I don't know what's going on.
So I have watched all of these already, but I want to rewatch them with you and kind of like comment as we go. But there actually isn't, or not that A Court of Spicy Books, or I could see, there wasn't any replies or statements from the original artist, who was the one being accused of copying Adela Stopka's artwork. However, they are an amazing artist in their own right, and they have some absolutely incredible images on their Instagram. And later on we will discuss like the differences between inspiration and stealing. And whilst I don't have a statement from this artist, I kind of do want to see everyone's side and know everything from everyone before making a final judgment. Of course, Spicy Books will show us the two artworks and we'll see them side by side.
They've apparently apologised to the original artist and they've given her the very kind offer of her being the cover artist. And she was our inspiration! This is a screenshot of a comment. Now I can't read the original comment because it is not in a language that I speak. So I'm just going to comment on this comment that they've left, which says, "Don't you dare blame us with plagiarism." And note, we will not tolerate these kind of comments blaming us. I think they mean here when it says like we see this like some kind of getting a hype, they think it's people looking for attention, I think is what this means. But if I've misinterpreted that, let me know. Like, why are you so on the defensive? Take a second and think, ink pages.
Okay, so let me read the comment for you from the ink pages on the Instagram. It says, "Hello, if you have read this book, you would know this book is about Budapest, and one of the main characters of this book is Budapest Parliament. And it is the only building in the world, so of course they will be identical, because we took real buildings as the reference. The only similarities with this cover is the colour. So don't you dare blame us with plagiarism.
So this one above my head here is the original piece of artwork. This, I believe, is on the Czech versions of the book. I don't know if you can see that little arrow at the top. It says, they say we stole it. As in, like, this piece of artwork above me is the one that people are saying, you've stolen it. And then the one this way is the cover. Now, I don't know about you. I think that looks pretty similar. Is there differences? Yeah, absolutely. Is that? Yes. Okay, slightly. They've said here that this is their reference picture below, which this is the actual building. It is a real building. I don't know. For me personally, there's too many similarities between this. I definitely think there's a bit of like shadiness going on here.
Okay, let's take a look at these two pieces of artwork. So, A Quart of Spicy Book says that the one above her head is the original one. Okay, so obviously they are not exact replicas in terms of being like a complete, like, just it's a reprint of the same picture. That I can understand. But if I didn't know it was two different artists, I would think that it was probably the same artist having done both of these. The color scheme, the glow, it is very similar. Although I can still see a difference if I'm looking for it. If I hadn't, because now that we know this, I'm looking for the differences. I would probably think it was the same artwork.
Then I saw this story. Dear friends, due to the current situation, the incessant bullying, threatening, and terrorising not only us but also the author and the artist, we've made a decision to change the back cover. You will def like it because somebody will be flipping off. I'm unsure.
I feel like this response from the brand is a little bit petty. It's almost just a little bit childish. I do agree with the fact that the author shouldn't be dragged into this, because if this book box is the one that's organising how it looks, special edition, and like the artwork, obviously they'll get it done and then run it past the author, but it's not, the author hasn't hired that person. They're not the ones dealing with it directly. The author should not be dragged into this. The artist, I would probably say, is a different matter, but definitely not bullying or terrorising. It might just be perhaps you should have credited the artist that inspired you.
I went to go and find the original artist. They have a story up on their Instagram about the whole situation. They seem pretty happy. This is Google translated and the original is in Czech. So there's probably some slight mistranslations here, or like slight things that haven't translated well. But it looks like the original artist is happy with whatever outcome has been agreed.
Let me just read what I can see. And again, like she did say, it's Google translated. It's not as 100%. I do apologise if this isn't a good translation. But it says, Phew, that was 2 days ago. I wrote to everyone in turn, with the author and the illustrator, and finally I contacted the publishing house itself. We found out through some of you that they tried to contact me, only to be betrayed by an Instagram error. The messages did not appear either in spam or in requests, even when I clicked on the messages. Even after I wrote to them, they didn't respond, but they tried really hard to contact me. So they did make the effort, which is nice to know. We talked about the cover, and yes, the original design inspired by my cover. For everything that's happened after, for which I'm very happy. So all the rest of that message is covered, so I can't read it word for word, but I think she's just saying that like mistakes happen and that she fully respects the fact that they have now done the right thing and reached out to her. Even so, I'm very glad that you contacted. Thanks to you, things got moving maybe. Got a little bruise along the way. We need to find a common path. The bruises will disappear in a few days. Thanks to what happened, the publishing house found out that there are some Czech covers and my work. So all's well that ends well. That's really sweet. So considering they were the original artists whose artwork was copied or inspired, they are definitely dealing with this with grace, which cannot be said for the ink pages, who are literally having a tantrum at this point. I mean, just look at these messages, honestly.
This interaction is interesting to me. This is somebody who messaged them and said like, hey, have you made an agreement with the original illustrator? I obviously can't see their whole message, but I'm guessing they're saying like, hey, this is very similar, like what are you doing? And then they've said, we didn't know the author. We found it, I think by author they mean illustrator. We found it on Pinterest without any signature, so we had no idea. Next time we will check everything. Why haven't you checked everything this time? Please calm down. We don't want to offend anybody.
I'm not being funny, but when you tell someone to calm down, who was clearly just making, like, pointing something out to you, like, you're the one that needs to calm down, but you're kind of, like, deflecting. Also, with the having found it on Pinterest, so they weren't sure, as someone who, in my videos, I include people's fan arts, and I find them on Pinterest, I find them on so many sites. I always, unless I've mistakenly forgotten, but always make the effort to credit the artist. On Pinterest, very rarely it's hard to find the person who did that piece of art. So I can understand that it is hard on Pinterest, but it doesn't take much. I take that picture, I put it into Google, what is it? The image finder, and I find it elsewhere. So I will find it on different sites that have posted it. So I'll know. And then when I think I've got the name, I will go and search that name on Instagram, and then I find the artist and I find the picture in their feed of the one that I want to put in my video to reference the book that I'm talking about, or the characters I'm talking about. So then I know that it's definitely, I'm crediting the right artist. It isn't hard, and they're a company and they should be doing better. I'm not to say that mistakes won't happen, because I might do it wrong at some point, or I might have gotten the wrong artist or forgotten on one piece. I'm not sure. I try very hard not to do that, but it doesn't take much. I think that's a very poor excuse.
And this message that they've sent somebody saying, we didn't know that it was an artist's work. To be honest, we found it in Pinterest, and yes, it is our fault that we didn't check it.
Yeah.
It is correct that, yes, it is your fault. If you're wondering what I sent them, I just sent them a message saying, hey, unfortunately I'll be taking down the posts I've previously done featuring the Ink Pages editions. I'm shocked at the unprofessionalism in your stories and comments regarding the Savage Lands edition. Don't think this is being very well handled, and I will be stepping down from promoting anything. They put hi, oh, okay, and then blocked me.
Wow, that's really professional of them, honestly. Like I said before, it does not say about the plagiarism of the artwork, none of that. She just said that she just doesn't feel that she wants to work with this company anymore. You're allowed to change your mind with companies. You are allowed. I mean, and I'm assuming she's working for free. I don't know. I'm not a book rep. I've never been one. I think a lot of the stuff they do is for free because they've got a big platform, and I think they get the stuff for free so they can talk about it and recommend it. But to have the response, hi, oh, okay. Not like, hi, thank you so much for messaging us. We really appreciate your feedback. This has been such an error on our part. We will continue to do better in the future. Like, learn from your mistake, own it, and just, what is this? What kind of answer is that from a business? Now, you'd think that the Ink Pages would address the issue, maybe apologize, or at least acknowledge the concerns, right? Instead, they reportedly blocked a quart of spicy books on TikTok, and that's not even the worst of it.
They have since taken all of these stories down. They have blocked me, so I can't see what else they've put up or what is going on their page. Just another day of getting blocked by special edition book companies.
Okay, so we do actually have an update. Quart of Spicy Books claims that the Ink Pages then went so far as to contact their reps and ask them to report her video for harassment and some like other violations, I think. I mean, talk about trying to silence someone. That's crazy.
Just a little update on this one, as if it wasn't bad enough. This morning I awoke to a message on Instagram from one of the people that is one of their reps, who has told me that they have been asking their reps to report that video to make sure that you guys never see it. Like, tell me you've done something fucking shady and that you know your behavior is appalling without telling me that you think those things. I said this in the last video and I'll say this now, like, I wasn't going to give this any of my attention. But for this special edition company to block me, keep in mind that before I posted that video, before they blocked me, the only interaction we had about this whole thing is that I said that I found their unprofessionalism around the whole situation quite shocking and that I wasn't comfortable working with them moving forward, so would be taking a step back from promoting their books. I said it quite politely, I'll have you know. They are now asking their reps to report my content. This isn't a business. This can't be a business. This is like petty mean girl behavior, but from a company. I will never see a response or what they might do to try and do some damage control around this whole situation because they have blocked me. But this situation just keeps getting worse and worse. You're gonna send people to report my video where I literally just shared the screenshots of things you said on your public stories? So if you're one of their reps that has then messaged me to say, I can't believe they're asking me to report your content, or you're one of the reps that have said, actually, I agree with your video, it was really well set out, I'm not reporting it, what the hell? Credit to you. In fact, so many of you have said that you don't want to work with them anymore because of how they're reacting to not only the situation, but how they've reacted to my video. Have they messaged me to say, hey Becca, please take this video down, we don't like what you say? No, they're just asking people to report it, whilst having me blocked. Honestly, this whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely baffling. That's crazy, honestly. So obviously she mentions that they had asked their reps to go and block her or like report her content. And we have another update because she has screenshots. She came with all the receipts. All the receipts.
In case anybody is wondering what the Ink Pages are messaging their reps when trying to get them to report my previous video, here's a sample. If you already were on the fence about supporting this bookish company, this is a nail in the coffin for me.
Okay, so I'm just going to read you the message that they've sent to their reps. It says, please can you report or do something about this disgusting video? This girl was our rep, and after the situation resolved yesterday and we spoke and stayed with this artist in good relationships, This disgusting girl reached out and said so many bad things about us, and now she's trying to jump in the last bandwagon. English isn't their first language, so we're not judging or like talking about the punctuation or like the spelling mistakes here. But still, a disgusting girl. What did she say? Like she literally said, she's just reposted or made a video about stuff that they'd said on their own platform. It wasn't anything like that was meant to be private. They're kind of reaching here for sure.
This is shocking. The fact that this company thinks I wouldn't see this, that their reps would not be in my inbox saying, what fucking ludicrousy is this? That there wouldn't be other large bookish creators messaging me being like, thank God you said something, because now I'm not going to be a rep with them either. There should be no hate directed at the artist that did either version or the author. I would be so embarrassed right now to be connected to the ink pages. I'm so glad I told them I would not be working with them anymore. What the fuck?
It is crazy. The unprofessionalism is mad. I mean, we've said it time and time again as a company. Also, you've got future works coming up with other authors. This does not reflect well at all, like the way you're handling it. Okay, and this is the last update we have from Becca, A Court of Spicy Books. The ink pages have kind of posted a bit of what's called moving forward. So I guess the next steps really, and I'm assuming to apologize perhaps for how it went down, but let's see.
They have not apologised for calling me disgusting or for asking their reps to report my content in order to get it taken down. They still have me blocked. There has been no communication from them to me at all about like anything that happened. No.
Okay, so in the full post it says, we would like to share with you that all the issues with the artist has now been fully resolved in a positive and respectful way. We are now on great terms with Adela Stopka, and everything has been settled amicably. We continue to maintain a strong and positive relationship with the author. We've also reached out to the team of our reps, and we're all on the same page, moving forward in a positive direction. Obviously not all of them. As Becca said, we apologise with the way this situation was handled, and this experience has provided us with valuable lessons, and we are committed to continuously improving on the professional aspect of our work. Thank you all for your continued support. I feel like the fact they haven't even unblocked her and apologised and resolved things with her shows that they aren't learning from their mistakes. I feel like it was such an issue for them. They're obviously not ready to move on or to, I don't know, build bridges with their reps. But I wonder how many of the reps that they had that got the message to go and report that video of Becca's, I wonder how many of them are still around. Because I think it could have actually done them some favors to have resolved matters with Becca. I mean, I don't think Becca would have worked for them again, but it would have, I think, shown everyone that they were willing to address these issues and learn from their mistakes. Considering they were calling her names, I do think that's totally unprofessional and uncalled for. But in my opinion, I try not to give my opinion too much on this and just kind of lay out the facts, but it does feel like they haven't learned. Maybe time will tell if we get an update from Becca at A Court of Spicy Books or Ink Pages. I will let you know. So not only is there the potential copyright infringement issue with the artwork itself, but now there's also the question of censorship and silencing criticism within the book community. It's not a good look for the ink pages. And the book community on TikTok is known for being passionate and supportive, especially when it comes to the creators. And right now, many people, and rightfully so, are rallying behind A Court of Spicy Books and expressing their disappointment with the ink pages. In the realm of art, the line between like inspiration and theft can sometimes appear blurry. However, there are key distinctions that differentiate the two. Being inspired, right? So it's like a seed that like sparks your own creative process. It can involve like existing artwork or styles, concepts, in using them as a platform to then build your own ideas from, right? Even when something inspires you, you don't replicate it. You don't replicate what you see. You take those elements and you transform them, adding your own personal touch, your own perspective and techniques to create something new and original. So what does stealing look like in the art world? And the articles I've looked at say stealing involves like directly copying significant portions of another artist's work without permission or proper attribution. And this can include replicating the composition, the characters, or even specific details like the lighting or the color palette. Stolen artwork often lacks originality and fails to add any new or transformative elements. So now that we understand the difference of being inspired versus stealing, what do you think? Does the artwork look inspired by or just straight up copied? And do you think that the ink pages should have acted a bit more professionally in this situation? Anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts below. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week.